Hello students, welcome to Btech360. Again, a lot of questions since last evening that I thought I should take up. What I'll do is I'll pick up a couple of questions at this point in time. And these are questions that are slightly broader, but a lot of parents will understand, and this question might be a response to a lot of questions, confusion that they might have, right? Now, before I go further, I always have two requests. One is, please do subscribe to Btech360 before you ask those questions. And two, a lot of parents have come to us asking for a personal session, asking for a conversation with us where they're not just posting questions, and they don't want to obviously put it on a social media format where in YouTube messages their questions are there. So they wanted a personal engagement with us. So what we've done is, from now onwards, twice a week, we'll actually have a group session where parents can ask questions. We'll invite only those select parents who are asking difficult questions or questions which are specific for themselves. So we created a Google sheet here. Go on the link, click on it and start filling in your data. Most importantly, what I want is a very, very specific question with all details so that my team can research on that. And during the week, we'll obviously keep you informed about it. We will come back, have a group where about 50-100 parents like yourself and students, 50-100 students will come join the thing, where we'll have a live conversation where, of course, we'll respond to some of your questions, and more importantly, you might also listen to us and get a feel of what the other questions are and maybe learn from that also. Because we do realize that not all parents would want to put their personal questions into the social media box. So we understand that. So we're creating this Google worksheet. We want some basic details of yours, and more importantly, the question that you have which you want our research team to work on and respond back. And we'll do it personally also at some point in time. And we'll do it twice a week. So there is a Google sheet here, click on that and get on with the whole thing. And most importantly, I want to thank my university partner, Chitkara University, which enabled us to spend so much time, effort and research to bring this thing to you. So thank you, Chitkara University, for that. So let's start with the first question. And this is a student who is from Gujarat, what I saw. And his JEE main rank is 13,473, which means it's very, very good. We're dealing with 99.2 percentile, 99.3 percentile kind of student. And his BITSAT score is exceptional, it's 307. And he says, I'm not planning to give advanced due to personal reasons, which means he doesn't want to go through JEE Advanced. So what he has is the 13,473 rank of JEE Mains versus BITSAT score of 307, right? And he's mainly interested in CSE and its allied branches, and electrical is also fine. So he wants to do CSE, CSE with AI or ML or any of those kind of things, or he wants to do ECE. But what he has, he says he doesn't want to take JEE Advanced, and he wants to use either the BITSAT score that he has in his hand or the JEE rank that he has in his hand. Now, when I look at that, at 13,473, because it's Gujarat state is what you're saying, last year the highest closing rank in SVNIT in Gujarat was 8105 in the home state quota. So you don't stand a chance of getting there, right? B electrical was 23,449, so you're likely to get that. We're talking about EEE at this point in time. Now, if you want to go further, in the northeastern states, you might get some certain things, which is CSE. But at 13,473 rank JEE Mains, the chance of you getting into a good NIT with a CSE for a CSE branch is next to nothing, because it ends at about 6, 7, 8,000 and nothing beyond that. Even in home state, if you now notice, in Gujarat, it's 8105, it close. So the chance of you getting into CSE there is very less. But the good news starts here. The good news is last year, you got 307 marks at this point in time. Last year, the highest closing score for the cutoff for the rank which got CSE in BITS Pilani is 304. And in Hyderabad and in Goa campus, it's 294. So the fact that you got 307, you will get into BITS Pilani, the way it is structured at this point. For sure, if not Pilani, you will get into Hyderabad or Goa. And besides, by the way, I'm only talking of CSE. There are allied branches, for sure you'll get in BITS Pilani itself. And the reason why at this point in time I'll recommend you to not look at IIITs, GFTs and NITs, but just go to BITS Pilani is, BITS Pilani is a proven case, right? And based on your ability, they also have the top 500 rankers getting almost 100% scholarship, rather 100% scholarship. The eligibility here is your total income of the family should be less than 20 lakh rupees. And assuming your income is less than 20 lakh rupees, your fee is zero, right? And the chances that you'll get into this particular college is very, very high. At 307, you'll be, my opinion, you'll be in the top 1% of the students there, and in all possibility, you'll be in the top 1%. And you'll get a seat in CS or allied in BITS Pilani itself, and CS itself in Hyderabad and Goa campus. So the choice for me is extremely clear. Go for BITS Pilani or Hyderabad or Goa, and within BITS Pilani you actually have 4-5 other branches also, as you all know that, and you will likely to get into one of those branches, so pick them up and don't look this side in terms of NITs, IIITs, GFTIs. I hope this helps you. The second question that I have is a student who is talking of SASTRA University. And the question is very simple. He says, sir, how is SASTRA University? If I am getting admission, should I take it or not? So the question is about a review of SASTRA University, so to say. Now, SASTRA is a great university, if I may say so. It's been there. It's become a deemed university sometime in 2008, if I remember correctly. But before that, it was called the Shanmuga College of Engineering. And it's been there for a long, long time. I've been in the space for a long time to tell you that it's one of the more credible and reputed institutions that we have in the country, and they're so good that they also at times limit their intake so that they can also place the students. So they are not expanding and talking of tens of thousands of students joining them. When they think that at some point in time the industry will take a downturn, they'll also step back and say, no, we don't want to take so many students because we may not be able to place them. So their commitment to the student is so high that they would at times even compromise on the intake itself if they think that the markets are unsure. So that's the kind of credible institution that we're talking about. And there, if you look at it in the 23-24, we don't have the latest data, but if I have to take the 24-25 NIRF, 26 NIRF, they have not yet filed, so we couldn't lay our hands on that. There, the admitted students was 2034, including lateral recruitment. Actually, 1920 was the admitted students, and then you also had lateral, which took it to 2034, of which students who graduated is 1,823. So almost 90% of the students graduated. And of this 1,823, the placement is 1,621, right? And about 131 students prefer to move for higher studies. So they're dealing with a 95.6% or 96% placement. Now, remember, when you actually have that kind of a high number of placement, 96%, 1,621 and all, your median salary typically drops. But in this particular case, the median salary is still 7.6 lakh rupees. So SASTRA as an institution is very good. It is extremely credible. They really take care of students. They are very moderately priced in most of the cases, and they place about 96% of the students. The median salary is 7.6 lakh rupees. So I don't know. It is all relative. When you make a choice, it's relative in terms of what else do you have as compared to what you have in SASTRA. Now, I don't know the other comparison that you have. I don't know what other colleges that you have. For example, if you have a BITS Pilani, I will say go to BITS Pilani or so on and so forth. But I don't know those details, so I'm unable to respond to that. But SASTRA as a standalone format is a very, very good institution. And if you get it, and depending on the options that you have, it's a credible place and you can get into that. No questions asked. The third question that I have in front of me is about a student who's from, I don't know, again, they've not written the home state. I always tell people to write the home state for me so they can work on that. The student says, sir, I have scored 94.3 percentile in JEE Mains 2026 with rank 88,000. Can I get LNMIIT CSE? So the student is very clear that he's not likely to get into any of the NITs, GFTS, and IIITs and all, because the percentile is 94.3 percentile, the rank is 88,000. So unless you compromise on everything, including the college and the branch, this rank at this point in time through the JOSA counselling process is pretty much would not get you a course and a college of your choice, no questions asked, right? From that perspective, yes, the only option is how do you use that particular rank to get into another private engineering college, and what are the benefits of that, and what are the chances of you using that score to get into a good private engineering college. Now, even in LNMIIT last year, now the thing is the private engineering colleges don't disclose their closing highest rank cutoffs, and it varies a lot. But whatever it is, they don't disclose. We've tried a lot of effort to write to most of these private universities to disclose their cutoff, but they don't do that. And I don't know what the confidentiality about the whole thing is, but they've always traditionally refused to disclose the highest closing cutoff because they feel that it varies dramatically year on year, and it will be unfair to be led by based what happened in the previous year. Having said that, last year what we saw is, when I saw computer and communication engineering, we saw a student with about 51,000 rank also getting it. Was computers and communication engineering, which essentially again means that you will not likely to get at 88,000, because we saw a student with 55,000 student getting it, but not a 88,000 student getting it. Now we also saw a student with about 95,000 student rank getting mechanical engineering. So My understanding when I looked at data of the chatter that is out there by students who talked of at what rank they got into LNMIIT, my personal opinion is that your chance of getting into LNMIIT IIT with 88,000 rank or 94.3 percentile for CSE is pretty minimal. You might get into some other branches, but CSE is very, very difficult. I just hope this responds to you. And I keep requesting parents, write your questions here, and we are starting a group. As I said, we'll be having an online meet of the group of people who have lots of questions. So the Google sheet, fill it in, and then we'll be happy to, unless you fill in the right questions, I'll not be able to invite you, because I'm going to research and then come back to you with in the live session that we will do very soon, next week itself. But start sending in your questions as we move along. If you want, obviously under the video also, you can also post questions, and we'll pick it up like this as we move along. And I again must conclude by thanking our university partner, Chitkara University, who enabled us to bring this session to you. Thank you so much. Namaste.